Omicron, what was that? See what I did there? Welcome back to the show. I hope everyone's doing well. I'm Nino, in case you're new here. This show is all about standing up for liberty, challenging the narrative, and most importantly, giving the American people another voice in this fight against misinformation, divisiveness, etc. A new variant of the month is in. It's called the Omicron variant. So on today's episode, we're going to hit three things. The new variant, the South African doctor who broke the story and what she said about it, and then we'll finally go right into this current regime and how they're about to exploit this again for their infringement upon our rights. So Omicron, what is this thing? The Omicron COVID variant is the new variant of the month, and the world is hopping on the hoop, hype, and holler right now to either distract from the fact that this is the Christmas season and it's all centered upon Christ, family, and love for country, or the fact that they're like, oh, wait a second, we might be able to exploit another crisis. Check this out. Omicron variant likely circulating for longer and more widely than thought, experts say. Yeah, no crap. The more we pump ourselves with all these vaccines, the more of these variants are going to come. But it's not all doom and gloom. There's actually some good news here. So this variant likely circulating for a lot longer than what we thought. So the news, they can't even keep up with it. So as more cases of the new Omicron COVID variant emerge around the world, experts say it's likely that the variant first identified in South Africa last week had already been circulating for some time. Just like everyone knows with this man-made virus, we have adapted to it. We're going to have to live with this. This is not, well, you've seen the shift. If any one of you have been watching or following this thing for the past 2 years, it's switching from a pandemic to an endemic, meaning we're going to be stuck with this for the rest of our lives until everything changes. I think this is kind of interesting here. But now there are increasing signs that the variant was in circulation in other countries before South Africa's health authorities alerted the world to its presence. There are a growing number of cases being discovered with no travel connection to the region, suggesting community transmission is taking place. Yeah, no doy. The vaccines are helping a little bit, but the virus is saying, oh yeah, screw you, vaccine, and we're going to fight and we're going to start another thing. And that's what's happening. Don't be too scared yet, because the South African doctor who broke this story about the variant, or even just let the world know before our xenophobic president shut down travel from South Africa, do as I say, not as I do crowd, whenever they bashed the last administration for halting travel from China. Now he can just do whatever he wants, I guess, and liberals like to do this. Oh, yeah, this is nothing to see here. South African doctors say patients with Omicron variant have very mild symptoms. This is rapidly transmissible, but its very mild symptoms is great because this is the newest adaptation to this virus. And if we can get this mild symptoms and everyone can get this and then survive it, naturally we're going to get to a better immunity than anything else. And we're not going to mint any more billionaires in this process. So it's going to be pretty good, meaning big pharma. But before we can get too happy with anything, we have to remember that the Biden regime is doing things to condition you to be able to give up personal liberty for temporary safety. And they have to continue this march right now because most Americans are like, whatever, we've been living with this forever. And even the ones who have the 14 booster shots in their arms, even they are now starting to question, wait a second, what is happening right now? We have to, again, look objectively to the whole situation and question what this tyrannical regime is doing to us. So the fact that you can't question Fauci because now you're questioning science.
They get up and really aim their bullets at Tony Fauci, but they're really criticizing science because I represent science.
Like I said. But it's time to start questioning this regime. White House says domestic travel vaccine requirements on the table due to Omicron variant. So you have a regime that's mandating the whole entire country, making them lose their jobs, and now they're trying to restrict domestic travel. We have an administration that already is doing unconstitutional things, trying to say that they have the authority to mandate the American people to do something based on their health. And now they're going to try to restrict your constitutional-based domestic traveling, at least on the flight. Now, they're already trying to restrict your travel and movement with this whole Green New Deal with raising gas prices all the way up. I drive a truck here, and it's almost $4 a gallon here on the left coast where I live, and I don't want to drive across the country or anywhere now because it's so expensive. But that indirectly is what they are causing on purpose to restrict our travel, to make us dependent on the nanny state. So Psaki says that I would say that nothing is off the table, so including domestic travel, noting that there are some strong protections in place already, including the requirement of mask wearing. So we know that this mask wearing and the doubling down of this now to March 18th, adding a doubling of the fines of individuals who are non-compliant with the requirement. The current mask mandate was slated to expire on January 18th, following that whole entire extension last August. So the whole takeaway from all this is this regime is going to continue this crisis, going to continue this movement of conditioning the American people's minds to distract them from what they are doing in the House and Senate, to infringe upon our rights even more, to tax us out of oblivion, to redistribute wealth in the eyes of socialism. Don't be scared of any of this right now. Be questionable. You're allowed to question science. You're allowed to question Anthony Fauci. That's actually how scientific things are found, by questioning things. But always remember this: it's important to stand up for individual liberty and always challenge that narrative that's coming out of DC, the filthy news, or just the people talking on the street. It's our time to take back this country, and we can do it peacefully through information. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Nino G Show. Hopefully we get 200 subscribers here come the new year. I'll catch you guys on the next one.